we kind of lock into the things we do, not necessarily women kind of lock into
Am I
people.
over here again?
Yep,
Right.
you're right.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So y'all two can talk right there. You put your
Okay.
microphone where you need it to be. All right. So how we're gonna do this? Good grief! Let me get some more water. Dang allergies. Okay. I'm gonna count down from 3, and after the 1, there's a phantom 0. In that time, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Feel free to do it too. And afterwards, we'll go ahead. I'm gonna hit the timer, and Yanice is gonna start speaking.
Okay.
Kind of on a tight schedule.
All right.
So Yanice, like 25 minutes tops.
So 12 and 12 again.
Actually, more like 11 and 11.
11 and 11.
Because
Okay.
we still gotta take a picture.
Okay.
But yeah, y'all can get to everything in that. And our group was a little less disciplined. That was
Yeah, that took a little more time than I expected.
due to factors we won't go into. But that's
But
it.
you know, that's radio, right?
Oh, really? Yeah, I know.
All right. So I am
I
recording.
might be old, but my memory's still good.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you have your phone on
Yeah,
Silence.
yeah. You know me, it'll go off there in a minute. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So we're gonna count down. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Chronicle. I'm your host, Yanice Jackson, coming to you from Stacks 92.1 FM. This is the platform for community because community knows what community needs. I'd like to thank all my listeners for being here again bright and early on a Sunday morning. Thank you for all of your support. And I'd like to thank all of my... Hi, Terry. And I'd like to thank all my followers for being here again. Thank you so much for your support. And, you know, we couldn't do it without you. Span, thanks for being my co-host. Thanks for doing everything, producing and holding things together.
And cracking jokes at the worst possible times. You're welcome.
Yeah. So,
Like then.
Well-
And now.
yeah, he's
Uh-huh.
awkward, Joe.
Okay, I'll
but
stop.
Okay, but I love Span. Thank you so much. I'm not going to thank him too much because it gets weird.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
like now.
Get you. You're going to go on a punishment. You're going to corner. So, but I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank my guest for being here today. This is a very special guest, and I know I say that a lot, but I mean that with all sincerity that he's like family to me. And Mr. Timothy TJ the DJ Jackson, thank you so much for being here. And I have to say a little bit, y'all, he's like family, and he came up in my dad's era, so I've known this man since I was about 4 years old, and he's seen.
Oh.
Did you not have a thing recording?
No, I didn't have the mic, so I apologize.
Oh, good. So at least you caught it before that.
Yeah,
like
well,
that
I
one
see
time.
Terry, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. So we got to start over. Charlie did a deep breath, so we're good. Oh, I'm sweating so hard. I feel like an idiot. Okay.
So we can start over here.
Okay. Close.
Well, I'm gonna start messing with your phone. I don't know.
No, you just hit the reset.
Which one? This is.
I'm sorry. I'm glad we didn't get too deep into it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were actually recording. We were getting them? Okay, so anyway. Now we're ready.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Chronicle. I'm your host, Yanice Jackson, coming to you from Stacks 92.1 FM. This is the platform for community because community knows what community needs. I'd like to thank all my listeners for being here again bright and early on this Sunday morning. I missed you all. I hope you missed me too. So thank you for coming back. I'd like to also thank those that are catching us and streaming us and all my followers and readers of the Chronicle. Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to thank my co-host to my right, Span. Thank you so much for helping me hold down the fort. And
Promise I won't be too awkward.
okay, he's trying not to be awkward, but I think it makes it worse.
Oops.
So I'm just going to keep moving forward because if I don't, I'm going to hurt him. Okay, and so with that, I'm going to see, I don't even know what I'm going to say now. He done messed me up, my flow.
We have a great guest.
Yes, a great guest. Back to the guest. It's about the guest. I have a special guest here today. And he is here to talk about his days in radio. Not only is it just my guest, he's my friend, he's like family. He came up in the golden era of black radio, late 70s, early 80s, along with my dad, Jay Price. His name is Mr. Timothy TJ the DJ Jackson. Thank you so much for being here today, TJ. It's so good to see you.
Oh, thank you very much. I haven't been called that in such a long time. It feels really good to hear it.
Oh yeah, that's what I owe that to all you radio guys. I mean, I called Dexter C.
Yeah.
And when I called Rob Roy, I know he's a pastor, but I was like, Rob Roy, the lover boy.
Oh yeah.
He says, well, they don't call me that much anymore. I said, that's okay, I owe it to you. So I did call him that, and it was good to talk to all the guys, and it's good to keep in touch with you. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, you were so welcome. Anything for you. Like you said, we're family, not only are we good friends, but we're family. And your dad and your mother were dear friends of mine, and your dad was one of my mentors. So, I felt really privileged today, and thank you very much for including me.
I know that my dad would be very pleased to see the work that's being done, all you guys coming together, reaching out, and paying homage to you all in radio and how you have set the stage and laid the groundwork for the people that are, doing their thing today, and part of what's recently happened is our very dear friend, Mr. Brandon Henderson, DJ Crazy Cass. He passed away suddenly, after he was dealing with some ailments. So, we've all kind of come together in his honor, and, that's part of the reason that you're here, but we're celebrating his life. We're doing a tribute to Brandon, and you're one of the key people that helped him with that journey, correct?
Correct. Brandon, I've known him all his life. His parents were good friends with my parents, and Brandon was a good kid. Now, you have to go way back. When he first started DJing, he was like 13, 14 years old. Mm-hmm. And your father, Jay Price, the morning mayor of the air, we were promoting, doing entertainment gigs, emceeing, doing DJ things, and he had said to me like he wanted to bring some young talent in, wanted to infuse it with some young talent, because I was a little younger than him and he was a little older than me. So he said, well, let's bring somebody else in, let's get the younger crowd involved. So he was about everybody, his group, my group, the younger kids. So I said, yeah. So I kept thinking about it, and I knew all those guys, Hollywood, The Butcher, Cass, and I go, who can I get? And then I thought of Brandon. I go, yeah, Brandon. And at that time, he was calling himself DJ Crazy Cash Money.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, no, we're gonna have to shorten this and come up with something else, man. I don't think about it. So after a gig, as a matter of fact, it was at the Elks Club. So okay. He was 14 years old. We had him DJing for us.
Yeah,
and his parents.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm not about to incriminate
but
you.
His parents knew that he would be okay because he was with me and Jay. So,
yeah.
We didn't let anything, even though there were some mature ladies who wanted to pinch his cheeks because, he had them fat cheeks in his face. They're like, come here, baby. And he was like, He was like, what do I do? I go, just tell him thank you and just keep spinning, spinning the records. So we were brainstorming after a gig one night, and I drove him home, and I go, we'll come up. So we were sitting in the car, and I go, DJ Crazy Cash Money, DJ Crazy. And I'm going over in my head saying this over and over again. I said, check this out. And I wanted him to use K's, but he chose to use C's. So I said, how about this? DJ Crazy Cass, like DJ Cass out of New York. And he's like, you think that'll work? I go, yeah, I'll go try it. So he started doing it, and then he was in the airbrushing, and he had this jean jacket. He airbrushed DJ Crazy Cass on the back of this jean jacket. And he liked the way it looked and liked the way it rolled off the tongue, and it stuck. Awesome. So it's like, so over the years, anytime I've seen him, like before he went to Australia and then he came back for a visit, he and I would always talk. And I would say, remember, I named you.
Well, hey, and he gives you credit too. I've seen some videos, and they ask, people ask how he got started. He'd always say, Tim Jackson, and then you guys used to take him out. and you started with that. And I remember my dad used to always say he used to carry my records. You know,
Yeah.
Jay was not, you know, modesty. You know, I'm not
Yes,
gonna say he
yes,
wasn't
yes,
all,
yes.
but you know, hey, I'm glad my dad knew how good he was, right?
Oh yeah. Because your dad could spot talent. I mean, he would tell me, he told me about when he worked for James Brown in Georgia.
Augusta, yeah.
And he said the program manager told him, Mr. Brown's coming to the station. You can either get your hair cut or something else, he said, or wear a collared shirt with a tie. He goes, wear a tie? I'm on radio. And so he said he started wearing ties. That's why he started wearing.
Oh, that's why he's always dressed up.
Yeah. He said he didn't want to cut his hair because he had a nice afro, you know, and it was long, and he was like, I'm not cutting my afro. So they were like, you got two choices. Either you can start wearing shirts and ties, or you can get your hair cut from Mr. Brown because he likes it neat, you know.
Okay.
So, and then he told me the stories, and he told me about Fort Wayne, and told me about all the good, and then we go to Jack the Rapper in Atlanta.
And for people that don't know, because a lot of people don't know that was a music conference, tell us a little bit about Jack the Rapper.
Jack Gibson was one of the founding fathers of black radio. Jack Gibson, Eddie O.J., Joe Dixon. Oh wow!
And it was a yellow magazine that you would go get,
and he had
was it yellow and red or yellow and black? I
yellow
remember.
And black.
Yes, and you'd have all these musicians come out. I remember that.
His
every
name
year.
was Jack the Rapper Gibson, and he had this line, and he would say, "Tell it like it is." Would you say the truth, Ruth, or something like that? I'm paraphrasing, Jack Gibson. I mean, he was an original. People think Donnie Simpson or Frankie Crocker was somebody. Jack Gibson, Eddie O.J., that's how the O.J.'s got their name.
Right,
Eddie O.J. So they used to call them Eddie's O.J.'s because they didn't have a name in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And so it just stuck, you know. Instead of Eddie's O.J.'s, they just chose O.J.'s. So those guys are legends. I mean, black radio wouldn't be about today if it wasn't for guys like them, the men who were in the trenches, who had to put up with it. Because back when they started, and, you know, they were before your dad, so you're talking mid to late 50s, it was called race music. It wasn't no R&B, there was no soul music. It was called race music for a reason. Music. Yeah. And it had its own thing. Like, I'll give you, for instance, Little Richard had a great song, a great hit, Tutti Frutti. Right. And it ended up, Pat Boone's record company stole the song, and he recorded it, and it became a big hit for Pat Boone. Yeah. But Pat Boone's version sounds way different than Little Richard's version of the song. Oh yeah. So, you know, I mean, that's how stuff was going on. You know, like they got screwed out of their royalties. Like Sly Stone went through the same thing.
And
George Clinton.
And it's nice to hear you say, and that's rock and roll, right?
Yeah. They it all comes from. Little Richard used to say, "Boogie Woogie" and the blues had a baby, and they called it rock and roll. Yeah. And, you know, to me, no offense, but the king of rock and roll to me is either Little Richard, Chuck Berry, cats like that who paid their dues, who basically invented it. Mm-hmm. Little Richard used to like to say, I am the innovator. Woo, shut up. You know, that was his line. But he was the innovator. I mean, that man could just tear it up. James Brown, the king of funk, you know, the godfather of soul, the hardest working man in showbiz. I love
hearing these stories. It's just wonderful. So what inspired you to get into radio, TJ?
Okay, let's go back. I was, I was 10 years old, 5th grade, and on a clear day, there was this radio station in Windsor called CKLW, and they played R&B music. So on a clear day here in Lansing, we had AM radios in the cars back then. Yeah. And you could get CKLW, you know, on your radio dial in your car. Yeah. And they had this DJ, afternoon DJ, and I'm gonna try to do him, but he passed on, I think, a couple years ago. His name was Bill Gable. He went by Brother Bill Gable, CKLW, the Motor City. That's how he sounded. Mm-hmm. So we would go to Bob Lowe certain times of the year. Bob Lowe's an old amusement park. Oh yeah, Bob Lowe. Out on the island, yep. Oh yeah, I remember that. In the Detroit River. We would go there, and I call it our poor people's vacations, because we would go for a day and come back. But CKLW, as you go through the tunnel, at that time, the studios were just on the other side of the tunnel in Windsor. And so I made my mom stop. I pestered her. I said, I want to meet Bill Gable. I want to meet. So we stopped. Make a long story short, we go into the radio station. The receptionist is sitting there, and I go, I want to meet Bill Gable. I'm from Lansing, and I want his autograph. So this short white guy comes out, and he didn't say anything. So I'm looking around. I asked the receptionist, well, where is he? Where is Bill Gable? And she says, that's Bill Gable right there. I go, that's not Bill Gable. Bill Gable's black. Now I'm 10 years old now, and he said, excuse me, young man, I am Bill Gable. I was like, oh my gosh, it really is him. Can I have your autograph? He said, you want to be a disc jockey when you grow up? I said, I do. I want to be bigger than Wolfman Jack.
All right.
And so that was my whole thing back then, and as life would have it, I did, fairly good. But, you life goes up, you grow up, you move on, you do other things. But that was my thing then. That was the whole thing. I was always intrigued by the voices of the DJs on the radio. And here in Lansing, we had,
Now, TJ, I want to go deeper into this history and talk a little bit about that, as well as some of the new guys and how it kind of bridged to that. But we need to take a short break, but not before reminding my listeners that this is Yanice Jackson, the host of the Sunday Chronicle at Stax 92.1 FM, the platform for community, because community knows what community needs. We'll be back after this. So y'all good? You need like a little breaker?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm in my element.
Oh yeah, he's loving that.
Okay.
You see, I can't. You see, I was looking at you, but
His
I was like, I
serotonin's
can't
just
stop.
going.
Yeah, I was trying to find a good point, and I was like,
we are good. So
because you got to go at
like
2:15, right?
Yeah, so go ahead, do 11 minutes, hit the reset button, is that the circle?
All right.
Okay. And I'm hitting the mics now. They are live. When you're ready.
And welcome back to the Sunday Chronicle, y'all. This is a very special show. We are in continuation of honoring the legends of the turntables, the legend of the, and we're going to honor the legacy and how we lift voices in Greater Lansing and beyond, and talking about the roots of black radio and what we have today. So we're paying special tribute to the greats, those that have passed before us, DJ Crazy Kaz, Brandon Henderson, Jay Price, those that helped to pave the way and for what we're doing now. And in addition to that, we have a living legend with us, Mr. TJ the DJ. I'm just so happy. Like it makes my hair on my arm stand up because he's so special to me. And before we went to break, we were talking a little bit about why he was inspired to radio. He met his radio mentor, and that kind of took him off guard when he saw it wasn't quite what he was expecting, but it led him to this path of radio. So tell me a little bit about the scratching era.
Okay.
Because you did a little bit about
a little
right?
bit scratching and mixing. Yeah. The first real big song that I mixed was Axel F from Beverly Hills Cop.
Wait, what's it? How does it go? That the Beverly Hills thing. Is that what? Yes, Axel Groove.
And then I would mix it and scratch. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a few other names like the master mixer Kevin Leake, Mighty Michael McFadden, who was a legend in his own right.
Now, did he work at XLA or was it ILS? He worked at both,
He worked at both, yes. He also worked at VIC. He originated it because the AM side of 95 FM was 7:30 AM. It's called The Fan, but and
he did some TV as well, right?
Mike was a newscaster.
So he was the voice of Lansing.
Yes, he was.
Him. And then a wonderful voice.
Yes, and a wonderful guy. I mean, and he like Jay mentored younger guys, and he was a good family, good man.
Yeah. Wonderful
people. But like I said, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the master mixer. Our newscaster Liz Colbert, Steve Johnson. Yeah. So there's a few names there that I would be remiss if I didn't mention those people. But okay, as you get up to the scratch and mixing, that always was around. Yeah, I mean, like they said, it originated out of New York, and what they originally was called break beats. They would the mixing evolved from break beats. Like they would play the instrumental part of the song and then mix the instrumental part back in, And as it evolved, it became, they changed it. It's like hip hop, rap, hip hop. It became mixing, scratch mixing.
And you had to cue that up. You had to listen to 2 songs at once, right?
Yes.
You had a microphone or
Yeah,
the earphones.
Yeah, you cue it up, you listen, you get the one song, you cue it, and then your other song is playing, and then you come in and you do the fader bar. You come in with the mix, or you come in with the scratch. You know, that's my sound effect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's an art. It's an art form. Some of us were better than others. I was more so known for the voice than I was for my mixing and my scratching. Wasn't that great of a scratcher. Was a hell of a better mixer, and I was a hell of a better announcer. So, you know, everybody had their own specialty. So, like Master Mixer is in his name.
So he was the one of the young talents that y'all brought into the station.
Yeah, well, Master Mixer was already established, and
you guys, they used to play the Outer Limits, right?
Yeah, Outer Limits nightclub. Yeah. Yes. I started out in the beginning when I first started working there. I was part-time assistant manager, bouncer, and I DJ'd. So it was Outer Limits was a club in East Lansing for those not in the know, and our club was standing room capacity of 2,500 people.
Wow.
So and we hardly had any fights. In the 6 years that I worked there, almost 7, we probably had maybe 2 fights.
Yeah, it's just different back then.
Yeah.
It was different. Now, Dexter C, I talked with him as well, and he was telling me that he did a little bit of the scratching. He said he learned a little bit from Cass. He said he was, you know, he said he did a little bit in the Master Mixer as well.
Yeah, they are like the Cass, like we mentioned before, Cass, the Butcher, Hollywood, Derek Templeton, Kenny White, and Brandon Henderson. So they were known. I mean, they were young guys, and they were experts. I mean, if you wanted a top-notch mixer or scratcher, you went to one of those 3 or the Master Mixer. I mean, it was 4 of them guys on there, but the Master Mixer was my age. So, but they were young guys, and they were excellent at their craft. They were very good, you know, and they had a hell of a reputation. So when we brought them along and they developed their own reputations in the business, it was nice to see the younger crowd doing well. And the entertainment gigs that they got, there was never any trouble. Like you said, back then we didn't have all the mess like they have now. Everybody went out to have a good time. The single fellas went out to talk to the single ladies. Couples went out to date night to have a great time. It wasn't about all the crazy rigmarole, you know, stuff that's going on. But, you know, times are different, and
I think things that the type of things we're doing now, passing down, talking about legacy, reconnecting, and going back to our roots, I think that helps us get a little bit closer, right? Because it's important for us to know the history of how do we get here today? Who paved the way, right?
Yes.
How did this person get here? And, you know, they passed the torch on to X, Y, and Z. And how do we continue to do that for 20, 30, 40, however many years, right? How do we get back into the place where we can chat again and we can go out and have a good time again? I think it's getting back to our roots and telling stories about how it was back then, and telling stories about how maybe it could be or be better. You know, I'm hopeful for that, you know, and that's what I do. I connect community. I'm a connector by heart. It's in my blood. And I think that's why we need shows like this. You know, we need platforms like this to be a voice for the community, right? To tell these stories, to recognize our hometown heroes, right? We have our stories, and we need to be represented, and we need something to be a reflection of us and say, hey, we have a story. We're important. We contributed, and this is what we did, and this is the true story. You know, we don't want it to be all washed down and watered down. It's important that we have Black media, community media, stuff that's a reflection of it. And that's why I do the Chronicle. And that's why I continue to try to help it evolve as far as so we can meet people where they are, right? It's not going to be the same. It'll never be the same as it was.
No.
But we can meet people where they are through print, through radio, through streaming, through internet, through social media. And that's what it's about, continuing on and so we can tell these stories, right, and pass them down to our kids and our kids' kids. And I know Span is back there. He wanted to ask a question. I know he's got a question in his heart.
Well, I did want to say something. The nice thing is that even though technology is taking a lot of things from us now, AI taking people's jobs and whatnot. In fact, there's some radio companies that are actually trying to use AI to use DJs, and it's laughable. It's laughable. You will produce a product that no one will want to buy, and there's a reason why these big radio companies are billions of dollars in debt and can't afford to make their payments. But that aside, I saw your Jodeci t-shirt, and I was kind of like, for a man who's experienced so much in music, why did you come to the interview in the Jodeci t-shirt?
Oh, Jodeci is one of my groups from the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an R&B man. I have a t-shirt at home that says soul music lover. So I Jodeci, Jagged Edge, Casey and JoJo, of course they're part of Jodeci, but all those groups, Tony Thompson and his group.
Was that High Five?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, really good.
I've always been like, I've never really been, I know people are going to be upset about this, but I've never really been a hip hop fan. I've always been wired to classic R&B, soul music is my thing. That's what I mean. I love doo-wop music. Mm-hmm. So, my mother said I should have been born when she was born because that was her era, That's I love doo-wop. I love R&B, soul. Even in the late 60s when George Clinton did Parliament, they were more experimental. Sly and the Family Stone, psychedelic soul, The Temptations had a couple of psychedelic, Cloud Nine and Psychedelic Shack. So, to me, this is gold. I'm not negative about it, but it's just not I wouldn't go out and buy it. But all the stuff the old CDs that I have are all R&B. I'm just an R&B guy.
Are there R&B artists today that you would buy? Oh, that's a
That's gonna take a minute. That's what he might have to come back and tell me on the next show, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking. I'm still thinking now. I'm thinking.
I don't even know if it's in it. No, Lisa.
Well, no.
Only reason why I'm thinking is because it's the genre. Everything evolves and changes.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I listen to the classic music channel on Comcast and the classic R&B. I like those. But then it says the regular R&B channel. Some of those artists I don't even know. I mean, I hate to say that,
Well,
I'm not trying to date myself, but some of them, I'm not into their style. Like, Angie Stone passed, and she, as a matter of fact, she's history. She was in the group Sequence back on Sugar Hill Records. They had a hit song called "I'm Gonna Funk You Right On Up." I'm gonna funk you right on up. Yeah. So a lot of people forgot about Angie Stone being a hip hopper, original hip hopper.
Wow.
But I would. It's hard to say. I'm not J. Cole fan, but I mean they do a good job.
What about SZA?
That's what I was going to ask you, SZA.
She's like one of the biggest ones now.
Yeah. But I mean, I give her props for what she does now. There's no disputing that. But in my own personal
I want that
collection,
old time rock and roll.
I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
Just like you said, your mom said you should have been born in her era. Yeah. I feel that way too, because I'm still listening to the old stuff that I grew up. I had my daddy's records, right?
Yeah.
And so
she sounds like what's his name from Fred Sanford, Sanford and Son. I want my daddy's records, Blind Melon Jelly. Yeah.
So and so that's what I grew up on, and I think with the options today, a lot of people are streaming and listening to what they listen to, because that's what I do. I'm in the listening to Sirius XM and I'm listening to Stevie Wonder channel, and so that's what I do. I just grew up on those classic hits. And Jodeci, I love Jodeci. I remember they came here and they were at the Civic Center, and then the people crashed the stage and they ended the concert.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I remember. The Civic Center, y'all. Maybe I'm dating myself too.
I'm a cameo guy. All R&B music is me. That's just my flavor, and I don't begrudge anybody else. I mean, if you're gonna do your hip hop thing, do your hip hop thing to the maximum. But to me, I'd rather see more R&B soul singers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everybody wants to be a rapper nowadays. Nothing against that. That's what you want to be, but you have to be. My grandfather used to say, if you're going to be an elephant poop shoveler, Be the best one in the world, no matter what it is. If you're gonna be a bum on Skid Row, be the best bum in the world.
That's fast.
You know, so to me, if you're not gonna be the best, you know, just like playing sports. I'm an old football player, wrestler. I wanted to be the best football player, wrestler, best defensive tackle in the world. I wanted to be the second coming of Mean Joe Green. So, you know, I mean, that's how I went into it. I never went into it to lose. That wasn't my thing. So you always try to strive to be the best. Strive to be the best at all costs. And, you know, I mean, what we did today, like talking about this and with Crazy Kaz and, you know, I mean, these people are legendary. A lot of people don't know. And I like the way everything has evolved with streaming and all these other things. There's always good and bad in everything.
Right.
You know, there's good and bad in every walk of life. But if we take the positive things from streaming and all this other stuff and enhance it and make it better, it's all about being positive and being better and making the industry better. You know, better for artists, better for all the talent, all the way around, radio, TV, all of it.
And meeting people where they are, right?
Right. You have to.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
And TJ, I wish I could talk to you for so long, but
Yeah,
our time is grown.
I could stay all day.
You're right. But
We can do this again.
We can do it again. You come on back and we talk a little bit more about radio and just chew it up some more. How does that sound?
Sounds great to
all
me.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And so we thank you for being here. His daughter Rachel is here. Thank you. It's lovely seeing you again, ma'am.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Span, thank you for holding down the fort, doing all the you know, the technical stuff that I don't do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So thank you so much, and thank you for my listeners and followers. And with that, I'd like to say I'm Yanice Jackson, coming to you from the Sunday Chronicle at Stacks 92.1 FM. This is the platform for community because community knows what community needs. Make it a great day. Okay, so we gonna take some pictures, y'all, and then because I know Span has to run.
I can't even do the pictures. I gotta go right into doing this content.